right, I hope that this camera stays. It's balancing very intricately in my friend's apartment in one of the only places with natural light, so we're gonna hope this works. But on the bright side, I do really like this full moon. It's opposite Venus, and yes, there's some gnarly background stuff going on that we can't really avoid during this time of year, but it also has 3 planets in its own signs. It's kind of cozy, and it's one of my favorite times of this October. So if you're excited to dive into what exactly we can all expect from this full moon in Aries, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you are always up to date with what the stars have in store for you. If you have not already, the October rising sign forecast, which includes a video for your sign for this October, are out. This will describe where this full moon is falling in your own chart, along with the rest of the October astrology. So this full moon is happening on October 9th, 2022 at 1:55 p.m. Pacific time, which would be 4:55 p.m. Eastern time. It has the sun in the second decan of Libra and the moon in the second decan of Aries, given that the sun is always opposite the moon in full moon. Now I'll start out with the sun in the second decan of Libra, which is the 3 of Swords, and I actually have this tattooed. I'm pretty sure in every full moon that has or new moon in this sign I show it, because it's really cool. I don't know, I really like this tattoo. This is a really bad angle to show it, but yeah, 3 of Swords. So if you know the card, that's what it looks like. It's done by Emra Ozhan, who's actually like a quadruple, quintuple, maybe sextuple Libra. He's so many planets, I know his chart, but you can go to him in Brooklyn. I highly recommend. He did nearly all my tattoos besides the bullshit ones. But this area of Libra where the sun is known as the Lord of Sorrow. Sorrow that comes from being betrayed, and usually it means that there's been a betrayal or a violation of trust, and it's a pretty blatantly challenging image. It doesn't mean bad or anything, it just means that there's challenge indicated, and it's pretty overt. And with the sun there, the sun representing usually the person in authority or who is enacting to cause this then Aries full moon, the sun is also conjunct Venus, which shows a smoothing over or harmony. So it could be that a trust or an agreement is broken, but it's smoothed over. Now, opposite to this is the moon in the second decan of Aries, which is associated with the 3 of Wands tarot card. I don't know if I forgot to say it, but the second decan of Libra is associated with the 3 of Swords. The second decan of Aries is opposite that, associated with the 3 of Wands. And this is known as the Lord of Virtue, and it's a card that represents acting virtuously and doing the right thing. It's the opposite to the 3 of Swords. It embodies doing your thing with integrity and not getting off track and not getting in someone else's lane. So it looks like we're ending a situation that someone else violated our trust and is just kind of trying to smooth things over on their end. And we're like, you know, I am liberating myself from this. Like, I respect you as a person. I'm not going to cause a fucking scene, but like, I'm out. And the moon is around 2 degrees away from Chiron in Aries. Chiron represents being vulnerable, raw, triggered, very in the open. So I'd say expect yourself and others to be fairly triggered and emotional, but not really in a bad way. It probably doesn't last. I don't think it's negative. I mean, it's opposite Venus, but it looks like a very raw, open setting where there might be some tears and might be some words thrown around, but the closure is very healing. So with a full moon being an ending and this one being aligned in this way, it looks like we're having a situation of leaving and setting an example by doing that. Like, I'm an independent woman who don't need no man, like get like out of my house, basically. Like, I don't need you. Feels very liberating. And with an opposite Venus, there's harmony and smoothing over, but full moons are always high energy, high drama, and like rising to the surface, which doesn't mean a breakup or like a door slam, but it could be a celebration of like, oh, this brought me this far, well, I'm done with it, it did what it needed to do, it's now kind of getting in the way of some other goals of mine, I'm ready to move on. So I think we're keeping the peace and appreciating what has come, but we're now moving on. And I think that this shows a bit of cowardice, but at least a bit of harmony, because the sun is in its fall while Venus is in its own sign. The sun is exalted in Aries because the ego can be very straightforward and very upfront. It's in its fall in Libra because it can be a little convoluted and put a lot of emphasis on what other people want and are thinking, leading it to act a bit cowardly, or not that Libras are cowardly, but like the sun in Libra energy can manifest as not being direct or not being assertive and therefore integral. So it might be that a leader or someone we're expected to step up is not acting with integrity, they're not being upfront. But Venus, showing relationships and values, are being upheld. Like, this one person might not be doing their part, but overall the conflict is resolved and not like wrecking things all over the place. And Mercury is in its exaltation in Virgo, which is also its home sign, showing that communication is concise, it's clear, and there's a strength in words. It is opposite Neptune and squaring Mars within a close degree. So I'd say that people's statements might be very clear, but we might be confused on the long-term implications of them. So I'd say that people's words are very direct, but they're also passive-aggressive with the subtext beneath there. There's a lot there. The other part of this T-square is Mars-Neptune square here, which is nearly exact. So we have a difficulty in being aggressive. Like Mars is action, Neptune dilutes, it diffuses. So having Mars square Neptune is big diffusive energy. It reminds me of like machine gun vibes of firing everywhere and not really hitting anything directly. And the Saturn Uranus square is still exact in the background at 18 degree of Aquarius and Taurus, which, I mean, I do like the fact that the Sun and Venus are trine Saturn and the Moon is sextile it, but Saturn representing conservatism and Uranus representing rebellion shows that in the background, we're like, do I keep it together and hold the peace, or do I fucking rebel, like fucking just like let everything blow? I do think that because Saturn is in the superior square and in its own sign, I lean towards Saturn keeping the peace, even though underneath the surface, there's a lot of like, oh no, like I'm ready to burst. So if you already know what house Aries is in your own chart and you know where this is showing up for you, feel free to comment any thoughts down below. So in the United States' chart, this is within 2 degrees of Saturn in the 11th house. Saturn rules their 2nd house of finances and 3rd house of communication, and the 11th house deals with audience reception or publicity or the people, like not the people, like voters or like support systems. So I wonder if there's going to be a partisan decision or vote around something financial involving media companies, because with the 2nd house and 3rd house involved with the 11th, I'd lean towards a financial decision around media or communication. That with Mars in the 7th house can show partisan divide over, so it looks like a heated time around a financial decision involving media, if I had to guess. Not that I'm guessing, but I shouldn't have used that saying. With Biden, this is simply not the most active in his chart. It's happening in his 5th house of kids. Put whatever joke you want in there, but I don't think it's going to be that intense. It's not really doing enough to where I can even bring in thinking it's going to be Hunter or anything like that. Interestingly enough, in Kamala Harris's chart, she was born under a full moon in Aries herself. However, it was at 27 degrees. This one is at 16, so it's not that close to her natal full moon in Aries, but it's still relevant because it's in her natal 11th house of groups and audience, and Mars is right on her ascendant. So I think she's going to be showing aggression or action that's taking place. It looks like she's part of this divisive decision and she's being recognized, like polarizingly for making noise with this partisan decision. For Bitcoin, Mars is exactly square Bitcoin's Neptune, which is really not good, and Saturn retrograde is exactly on Bitcoin's Chiron. Chiron in financial astrology is unclear to me in my studies, but it is usually very sensitively activated, and Uranus retrograde is exactly square Chiron with this square going on, so it seems to be very not good. Full moons are generally local bottoms, so I do expect a harsh dump into this full moon. And for ETH, I mean, the moon is trine Mercury, which is nice, but there's hard aspects from the Saturn-Uranus square in this chart, so I assume that this is going to be a local bottom that we do dump into, and I'm not bullish on. Had to go get my tarot card. So the tarot card that we have for this full moon in Aries is the Wheel of Fortune. This usually shows that everything is temporary. Like you have this fortune right now, but that's not going to be the fortune long term. It's all rotating. Like this card is usually a reminder of like, it's just gonna keep turning. Like don't attach to this situation. This is not the end. This is just the ending of a chapter. So if you enjoyed this, do feel free to check out my other videos on what's coming up this October, the Mars retrograde in Gemini, and anything else that might interest you. Like I have videos on all astrology basics down below, houses, planets. I also have vlogs and shit. Why am I? You can just look at my channel. But anyway, would appreciate if you subscribed. I see a lot of you are not. Around 70-80% of you who watch are not subscribed, so make sure to hit that subscribe button gently. You don't need to smash. It can be a tap. The Maren does not need to smash things, it gently taps things. Otherwise, hope that you enjoyed this full moon like I hope to, and I will see you in the next one. Ow, I have to get closer to do this shit.